Hello and welcome to Dees 20 Stitches. I'm Dee. My pronouns are they, them. I'm a queer and trans educator, cross-stitcher, cross-stitch designer, overall silly clown guy. Welcome to my Flosstube. I think this is number 23. Let me take out my book. 23. I've been doing them where I can. I've been a really busy guy lately. If you've watched my last video, I have a new job that is a lot. I have a lot of grading, a lot of classes. But this weekend is a long weekend up here in Canada, so I thought I would update you for a November cross stitch update. I have 2 finishes. I have a couple whips. I have a couple new starts. 1 new start. I don't know why I said a couple. And then at the end, as always, we do a little bit of activism education because that is what I'm all about. So before we get started, we're going to do something that I filmed last month, actually, like the day that I filmed my last Flosstube. I had a fully finished object. So why don't you check it out now? Hello, it's me, like roughly 5 hours after I recorded my last Flosstube. I showed you the last Flosstube, you saw a little Chonky Axolotl, and I had to get it finished because it's for a birthday this week, and I fully finished it. Here he is. Got some tassels. Here's the back. I love these fabrics together. It's got some like floofums, but I'll pick those off. But there's Chonky Axolotl by Bad Stitched. You can get that pattern on their Etsy. I made it into little pockets, so you can put stuff in there. You can put your little pocket for your treasures. You could probably put like, I don't know. Check it. Put a pen. That's the first thing I have. This is proving to you it's a pocket. I finished this pretty quickly and without a lot of headache. So that's a win for me. There he is. So happy. Take that pen away. This is going to go into a box right now. I'm going to send it to the birthday girl right now. So say goodbye to him. I guess I should take pictures for Instagram too. Content. Everything is content. Okay, that's a fully finish. Yay! Wow, so cute. I love that little finish so much, and the little kiddo who got it also really, really loved it too. So all happy, warm feelings all around us. I also have another finish, and this one is fantastic. I've been wanting to finish this for a long time. This is Mama Witch Stitch, and it is, I think it's called Moonshine Possum. The name's not on here. Mama Witch Stitch is on Etsy. She sometimes names like her cross stitch. She uses keywords instead of names because so it's searchable on Etsy. But I think a lot of people call it Moonshine Possum. This is on a 32 count. I think it was called Sea Lily or Sea Foam. It's stiff, so it's probably from Witchy. I stitched it over 1. So check out that little guy. Oh, she's so cute. I stitched it small because this Mama Witch Stitches patterns are that they look small, but they're huge if you stitch it over 2. So I stitched it over 1. This was during a time where I was starting everything over 1. A huge amount of stuff over 1 because I wanted it teeny tiny. Now, like after a year later, when I had to stitch all my whips felt like they were over one. It became a burden. So this, with all the color changes and everything, I just wanted her finished. And so I did finish her. I want to make this into like an iron-on patch. Would be really neat to put on a jean jacket. I have someone in mind to give it to. And I have a fellow trans stitcher in town who makes cross stitch and makes them into patches. So I might just give this to him, commission him to do that for me, so I don't have to mess around with it, because he's much better at it than I am. So that's a finish. We have a finish. This I've been working on since. I love that I've written everything down. Don't you love it? I've been last year, I guess it was just 2022. Oh no, 2021. September 22nd, 2021. So this I've had for a while, and because it's slow, it was a lot of color changes and it's slow stitching, and it's done. Folks, I don't have a lot of non-sampler whips left. When I do my whip parade during my birthday, November 24th, I'm not going to have a lot left, which is good. But also it means maybe I should start some more new stuff. I have not been in the starting mood because stitching has been few and far between, because it's been taken over by a job. I don't dream of labor. I don't want to work. If you didn't watch my last episode, I got a job in the public system. I have a lot of classes, a lot of students in those classes, and it's a lot of grading. So usually I have, a couple hours every night starting at 7 o'clock to stitch, and now it's like grading until 9 o'clock, and then maybe a half hour of me time. So that was the two finishes. Let's see what's next. Next is some whips. Oh, there we are. Okay. So this was my October stitch in my creepy bag. This is, do I have a picture? Of course I do. From the Witchy Stitcher, Master of Horror. This was started October 1st for that Stitchy for Witchy. The Witchy Stitcher has been dealing with cancer-related health issues, and so the community, it was so nice. I love it when a community comes together. That's my whole deal. So they came together and decided October 1st we stitch Witchy Stitcher. And so I have stitched something from them before, but I didn't have any active whips. So I picked this big one. I love it very much. I have a friend in mind to give this to. They really love It's in Price. I put this on. I love this fabric. I think this is like a light mocha. I'm just making up names because I've heard it. Couldn't tell you. And this is where I got that. Here, let me make sure you can't see through it. I had that hairline, baby. There we go. There we are. And a needle minder that really captures Vincent Price's whole steez. Move, I'm gay. I love it. I'm not usually a full coverage bean, but I love this sort of like graphic full coverage where it's almost like it's a piece of art, right? It's not realistic. It's more, graphic in nature. Love that. So I have all his hair. I have his top hair. Oh, to have his hair. We're looking a little floppy today, actually. You know, when you have the days where you wash your hair, and the days that you wash your hair is not as good as the days you don't wash your hair. I'm sorry, today I had to wash my hair, so it's not at full power. But believe me, I got a new barber and she knows exactly what to do. Oh my gosh, when I walk out of there, I'm like Samson. The hair is too powerful. I don't know, I guess hairdressers and barbers are different, but like this is my first barber who doesn't talk to me at all. And it's kind of nice. Because I talk all day, right? Like my job, I talk all day. So when I go to get a haircut after work, my barber's just doing their thing, and I'm just like, eyes closed, taking a nap, feeling the snips. It's kind of nice. Do you like talking at the hairdresser, at the barber? I don't know. I wonder if it's split. Because I've always been a talker, but man, it's just nice to just shut your yap and just like close your eyes, have a nap, and then you're beautiful when you open your eyes. So I worked on that. I also, at the beginning of November, took out this. Speaking of whips that, like, again, I think this is my last whip that's not a sampler, like, that I started a long time ago. This is all about the Acorns by Luhu Stitches. This is from 2000, was that from 22? When there was an online Acorns and Threads retreat. It was my first one I wanted to try out, and I really like Acorns and Threads. It's the closest big LNS to me, and that means it's like over a border and then 2 states away. So I tried it out. I like this. I'm gonna do something fun with the finishing. I have something in mind, but I don't want to spoil it. It was kitted for me using the called for. There's some threads I wouldn't buy, but I'll use them in the pattern because they were included in my package. And the thing with this one is, oops, I thought I touched a button. The thing with this one is I'll have so much floss left over that when this is done, I got so much floss left over. When this is done, I will send the floss and the pattern to someone on my Flosstube, because just like it's all kitted up already, and you grab a neutral piece of fabric, and then you're golden. Stitch some nuts, honey. Getting hyped up. Okay. Here's where I'm at. We are almost done, folks. We got some nuts to stitch, and then the bottom border, and I think that's it. As Michelle Bendy Stitchy says, I like them stripy. We love those weird little leaves. Those stripy leaves. I love the blending on the squirrel. I love a blend. Very cute. And then the needle minder is from Acorns Gathering too. So cute, so cute, so cute. But I'm going to finish that, and then I have barely any like regular whips. I have, gosh, okay. Let's do the big count. I usually would save this for my whip parade, but 1 sampler, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 samplers, and 1, 2, 3 non-samplers. That's nothing. That's nothing. That's nothing. Do you ever have a year where like you have so many whips, and then there's a year where you are finishing everything because everything you've been working on, everything little by little, and everything then at that year just happens to be everything is so close to being finished? That's where I'm at. I have had a buck wild amount of finishes this year that my whip pile seems empty, but I don't have with the new job, I don't have the give and go to want to start anything. I will start something for my birthday. I know exactly what I'm going to start for my birthday, so you're going to have to find out during my whip parade. I'm so excited. The other thing is, I usually take my birthday off. And so I like sit and I just have a day and I get my pattern, my birthday pattern, and I get it started and I drink a lot of tea and I eat pumpkin pie. This year I don't think I'm going to take off my birthday because the week before I have a surgery, a gender affirming surgery that I've been waiting for a long time, and it's a minor surgery. The recovery won't take too long. But that means I'm taking off a Friday and a Monday before my birthday, so it seems weird to take off another Friday, which is my birthday. When you're a teacher, you have to weigh the I want to take time off, but it's a lot of work to take time off because you have to prep for your classes and make sure your classes can go on without you. So I might not be able to take my birthday off. First time in a long time. Okay, I think this is the new start. This comes from, I want to make sure I get the situation for you because you probably will want to go. This is from the Tirazane Initiative on Instagram. They are a person or people, I'm not sure if it's a group or not, that categorize and archive and give out on their website for free Palestinian Tetris patterns. So patterns that were historically used and currently used in Palestinian embroidery, which is very, very, very popular. And one of the things, especially now, is it is important to share and keep that alive, keep those motifs, keep it alive. So some people might feel, because we have that lens of we don't want to appropriate, but the mission of the initiative, the Tirazane Initiative, seems to be, phone vibrating, seems to be like, hey, here are free patterns. Stitch them, share them, like we want you to. So I will link them down below the Instagram. Go through the patterns. They also have a Etsy, so if you want to buy stuff from them, that would be a good way to support them as well. So with everything, I've made a lot of statements on my story, Instagram story. I'm against war crimes. I'm against imperialism. But at the same time, we have to remember it's governments making these big calls and not people. You know what I mean? The governments are making these big calls. The historically imperialistic governments making these calls. I have been giving a lot of resources on my Instagram, and we're going to talk about something the same connected here. I have thoughts. So, this is a free pattern. That's why I'm kind of showing you the pattern. This is El Qadir, and he was a figure in Arabic, I believe in the Quran, where he was kind of this muse, this hero, and this representation of strength and community, and to keep going. So I figured when I saw him, I knew, like, definitely had a connection to this idea of gathering strength, moving forward with your community, and fighting for your community. Not just in terms of like Palestinian issues today, but every issue is connected. whatever you're an activist for, every issue is connected. So this spoke to me very much. So I picked it out right away. And as I am making time for my activism, I am also making time to stitch on this as well. This is also neat because I got this bag from, it's kind of like, again, a community thing. I got this bag from Trixie Tricycle, Jody, as a gift. I got the flosses from Evertote as because I used them on the Beverly Glen sampler, my last sampler that I designed. So I used them. It is Craisins and Brunette from Roxy Floss Co. And also I am using a piece of 20 count Venom Even Weave from Kaylee of the Sewing Shop. So these are all kind of gifts. And so I thought that, again, it all goes back to like community and community support and keeping strong within your community. I am also using the needle minder that Kari and I designed from our last spring fling, the We Go On. Again, it's all like, this is about community. So here we are. We have the horse's butt and we have the spear. And I know I said I wouldn't be doing over one, but I think this calls for it. Really pretty. Kaylee, I think, paints the fabric. There, let me show you. It's kind of blowing out, but this is what the fabric looks like. It's almost like painted. Really pretty. Yeah, I think everyone, if you are a craftivist, pull out something that gives you community strength. And so when you stitch on it, you're reminded, like, you have to keep going. It's bad. It feels bad. It have to keep going because we have people in the community. You have friends who this is affecting. There are things in this world that are affecting them greatly, whatever it might be. So if you have the strength, you have to keep going. So get a community piece. I think that's important to help kind of fill your heart up so you can keep going. And also, like, I've checked in with a lot of my friends who are hurting, but check in with the people who are hurting, Jewish and Palestinian and Muslim stitchers. Check in with them because a lot of people are hurting because governments are choosing their existence over people. Okay. A statement. Of course. I'm making it, of course. If you've never watched a video, you're like, stick to cross stitch, you friend. I'm a trans activist. I am largely anarchist. I have big thoughts about how the world is run, and craft is heavily tied into what I do. So if you're gonna type down in the comments like stick to stitching, like, you don't have to. You can get out of here. Cut it out. I don't need to hear it. Speaking of, at the end of every episode, I do a little bit of a learning quarter. If this is not for you, it's not for you. It's fine. I don't care. It's just a time where if you've probably had this on, maybe you're stitching, maybe you're having your breakfast or dinner or tea. It's just something to refocus our energies because, again, the world there's a lot going on and there's a lot of harm and hurt. So how can we make sure we support our community? That's what I'm all about. So I am taking today's lessons about the right to comfort from a friend, an activist, indigenous activist, and like all around like fucking amazing person, Sparkle Plenty. She's in the Vancouver burlesque community, and she did a series of slides on the right to comfort. And the idea, I think I spoke to this about this before, is activism isn't comfortable, and it shouldn't be comfortable. If you are doing true activism, it is doing work. You are doing work. So sharing sharing resources is great. Sharing information is wonderful. But if that is all you're doing, you're not getting out of your comfort zone, then your activism might not be as strong as it could be. Choosing comfort over supporting the community is a trait of white supremacy. Yeah, for sure. So a couple of things that Sparkle says. Number one, let go of perfectionism. We are not perfect beings. We will make mistakes. We will make mistakes. I have made a mistake. I make mistakes all the time. I'm not perfect. I'm not all-knowing. So if you are paralyzed by fear of not doing things correctly, just throw that out. Flush that out the toilet. Perfectionism is a white supremacy trait. The idea that things have to be perfect before we do something. Nah, we don't need that. And also, you might, and I have too, you might get corrected. You might get called in. Someone might go into your DMs and say, hey, what you did was not right and this is why. Or you gave misinformation, or the way you said this was harmful. And then, but if you've built up yourself as a true supporter of the community, you can take even though it might hurt, even though criticism might sting, you have to take it and say, wow, thank you for coming to me. Thank you for letting me know. Because if people are letting you know, then they trust you, which is great. So get rid of perfectionism. Criticism helps us all. Decenter yourself and listen to what the people are asking, the people who are being harmed. And again, this is everything, all parts of activism, whatever you are fighting for, whether it be abortion rights, trans rights, rights in people who are having genocide committed onto them, whatever you are fighting for, whatever your thing is, this can apply to everything. So decenter yourself. Listen to what the people need. So if they're asking for mutual aid, if they're asking to spread information, if they're asking you to go to protests, if they want bodies, this is very important. The idea of a boycott is a big activist thing. And as a trans activist, there has been a lot of calls for boycotts over certain things. And one thing I've seen in my arena, and I can't speak to the Palestinian and Israeli boycotts that are going on now. What I see is when when a company has done harm or is doing harm, but that company is installed in people's lives and people are so used to that company, there is a lack of being able to change. And is that like right to comfort, right? For example, I talked about this before. Netflix had some very big anti-trans policies, not only what sort of content they put on or chose to put on, but also how they reacted to their trans employees who are calling them out. So the trans community, trans activists called for a Netflix boycott. A lot of people love Netflix. So instead of making a statement and canceling it and writing the reason why they're canceling it, they decided to go with comfort. Now there is a lot of calls for boycotting companies that are contributing to Zionist government war machines. basically funding, the bombs and everything that are falling upon people, upon civilians. And again, it's easier to have your life the way it is, or you can get out of your comfort zone and give up something. And you might not think it makes a difference, but it can. Definitely. Absolutely. Again, I'm going back to Netflix. After that, Netflix saw a drop in subscriptions. And they changed some employee policies that were helpful to keep trans people safe within their community, within their ranks. So maybe boycotting, maybe you're like, if I boycott, I don't know, Starbucks, I love my Starbucks. If one person boycotts, it's not going to make a difference. It does. One thing does make a difference, for sure. Especially because you can talk about it with other people. Speaking of talking with other people, make sure you collaborate. Hype each other up. Sparkle Plenty says hype each other up. And I love that. Get together to have a day to write letters or postcards or something. Share resources, of course. I see a lot of people good at that, but actually hunting down resources, not just scrolling through Instagram and oh, this looks good, here you go. Hunting down resources, taking time to hunt down resources. And one of the things that I am talking about, and Sparkle mentions, is set aside some time weekly for activism work. Book it off in your calendar, and don't do it at 8 to 9 o'clock on a Friday night when you probably want to be watching Friends. Do it during a time where you will be motivated, and do it weekly. And again, it's not just for one conflict, one piece of harm. This is forever. We want a forever activist. We don't want you to go away. And again, it's anything you think you are passionate about. We need you. We absolutely need you. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to put the link to Sparkle Plenty's slides down below. Speaking of activism, Stitch for Pride, let me bring it up. This year, or this month, we are, and it worked out well, we're learning about queer Muslim activism. You may have seen here Blair Imani. She's active on social media. So she has a TED Talk that I have, and there is a lot of things about getting your activism ready. So yeah, take a look. Stitch for Pride, I mentioned before, I've seen a drop off in participation, and it has so I'm doing it different next year. Next year there will be a Stitch for Pride, but I have decided to make it a stitch along with a pattern that people will purchase. And I hope to have a sliding scale for that. And so you will get monthly emails with a pattern and information. And that is to protect my time and also get paid in this world. So, because I don't want to be doing work for nothing. You know what I mean? Not just monetarily, but I don't want to go through all this work and then people decide by after Pride, it's we're kind of over it. We got other stuff going on. And I completely understand there's other stuff going on. But if I'm putting all these hours into it, I want to make sure that people need it and want it. So, the cool thing is that I've got the palette, which is great. So I'm really excited. I think sale it's going to go up. I'm going to announce it in December. So look out for that. Speaking of Stitchy Kindness, I want to tell you about this. You might have seen this before. This is the Black Anchor, Cursed Black Anchor sampler. Whoa! Look Look how many people. If you have not heard about this, because it was a long time ago. I had this black anchor floss that was awful to stitch with. It was a curse. Every time I used it, it brought me nothing but trouble. So I put it on a skein. I skeined it up. I don't even know. Oh no. I don't even know where it is. Oh no. And then I sent it around. Now that was a lot of work to track where this thing went. But I had an idea. Michelle from Michelle Bendy Stitchy was going to the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit. And I said, hey, Michelle, could you bring this just to the retreat and have people stitch on it at the retreat? And she said yes. And she got so many people. All these people were at the retreat. And that was so fantastic. I still have a little bit left, and I think we can get a couple more in. So here's what I'm going to say about this. If you are a person who watches my Flosstube and you are going to a retreat and you would like to take the Black Anchor SAL with you to take to the retreat, and so you and other people can stitch on it, whoever you want to stitch on it would be great. Email me. My email's in the box below, or you can DM me on Instagram, and I'll send it out to you, and you can get some stitches in on it, because we're close. We're very close to the end. We're very close to the end. I have to have enough to stitch the end. This has been going since February 2022. Holy jumping. So if you're going to a retreat, just let me know, and you want to bring this with you, let me know. I'll send it to you. Okay? I think that's how we do it. I think that's how we do it. I think that will help me out so I'm not tracking everyone. And if you put your name on the list and you're like, oh no, it's not going to come to me, I apologize. It was just so much work to track. It was so much work to track. I understand now. But if you, anywhere in the world, I will send it to if you're going to a retreat and you want to bring it. So I'll send it overseas. I'll send it to frickin' Australia, dudes. Okay? That's the deal. I love it. So there's that. Yes. Thank you. Oh, I can't show you those. Oh, no. Don't look. That's a surprise. That's a later surprise. What else? I usually do snail mail, but I will hold on to snail mail because I am going to be, hopefully this month, putting up some patterns, paper patterns on my Ko-fi, including toonies. I have a handful of toonies left, and I will be putting all the rest up on my Ko-fi store. I also have extra We Go Ons from the Spring Fling. I will be putting those up on my Ko-fi store. I have a couple more little things that I'm going to be putting up on my Ko-fi store, paper patterns. If you would like to get your hands on especially toonies or We Go On, because there's a limited amount, make sure you're signed up for the Kari and Dee newsletter. So I won't be doing Snail Mail Club this time because my mailing budget will be taken up by that. I do charge for shipping for patterns, but shipping from Canada is so expensive, I do not charge you the whole amount. So I kind of lose a couple dollars each one. So if I'm sending out 50 patterns, it's... Oh, when I say it like that, that sucks. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to be doing Snail Mail Club this time, but I think what I'm going to do is next, if you make a comment this time in December, when I do not my whip parade for my birthday, but in December, I will choose one person and they can choose from a toonies pattern or a We Go On pattern, and I'll probably send it to you digitally. So if you would like a toonies, a guaranteed toonies or a guaranteed We Go On, put a comment below. Make sure you're signed up for my snail mail club. The link is down below. You have to just put your address in so I know where to send it to. And I will give away either your choice of a Toonies or a We Go On. My birthday's coming up, November 24th. I will hopefully do a whip parade that day. And also it is usually Flip D the Bird. But I am thinking about starting my monkey problem. My monkey, what's it called? Pattern. Nah, you know what? Stitch me a bird. Stitch, or, ooh, even better, on my birthday, why don't you pick a community piece, a piece that speaks to you about community support? I think that might be nice. That's what we'll do. Yeah. Instead of flip, well, you can still, hey, flip me the bird, and the bird is community. That would be really nice. Anything else? I think that's it. So no snail mail club this time. I should be hopefully seeing you in or around my birthday, November 24th. I'll do a whip parade. I think that's it. These have been really short. It's just because I haven't been stitching a lot. Oh, please look out for on mine and Kari's social media, and sign up for our newsletter because we are releasing a winter pattern called Yule Cat. I know y'all love kitties, so get ready for that. I'm just sending Kari the Brin and Needle floss on Tuesday when the post office is open because it's a long weekend. So look out for that soon. It's going to match with Yule Goat, and it's very cute. I really like the palette a lot. So make sure you look out for that. If you want a nice winter stitch that's like non-denominational, it's a very good non-denominational winter stitch. And it's got a kitty on it, so, you know. So look out for that. And look out for Stitch for Pride. It's going to get done. Also a reminder, November 20th is the Trans Day of Remembrance. I hope to put up a little how-to activism post next week on how to be an activist, a cis ally during the Trans Day of Remembrance. I hope to do that. But if I don't, that day is important for accomplices to do something. Get out of their comfort zone. Yeah. Okay, that is it. We got 40 minutes plus. I'm going to go take the dog out for a walk on this miserable Sunday. It is rainy. Okay, until next time. I'm your Stitch Dad. And I'm so proud of you. Mwah. Kisses. Okay.